Hello and welcome to Martin's Esports Recap. This week we're reviewing one of the greatest Dota 2 events, ESL One Summer 2021. We'll see how the tournament looked like, which teams got to the final battle and of course, who won, with all the highlights plays you want to see. So let's jump in. Let's shortly go over the format and basics of this tournament. A total of 12 Dota 2 teams met in the online clash to test their skills and see if they could conquer the world scene. 9 teams were invited to this competition and 3 more joined from the qualifiers. The format featured a double elimination bracket, and besides Western and Eastern Europe, we also had teams from Southeast Asia and North America, making the ESL One Summer 2021 quite a compelling Dota 2 event. The lucrative prize pool equals $400,000, and unlike similar events of this kind, on ESL One Summer 2021 teams won't get any DPC points. After an extensive week of clashes, T1 took the gold by beating Virtus Pro in the finals. In fact, this was the second time for T1 to meet Virtus Pro during this event, as they have already lost once to them in the semifinals. The duel in the semifinals was also tight, but Virtus Pro secured the win with a 2-1 final map score. However, as the tournament was already coming towards the end, T1 had another opportunity to return to the upper bracket. They had to beat Alliance, that was about to kickstart their placement into the upper bracket finals. This wasn't a difficult job for perfectly coordinated T1, and they successfully returned to the upper bracket after beating Alliance with 2-0. The battle in the finals was quite balanced. T1 managed to fix the mistakes shown in the previous clash, leading to unstable but well-deserved gold. Game 1 started quite defensively, and the entire laning phase didn't seem overly interesting for enthusiastic fans thirsty for some action. As the team fights began, Virtus Pro showed their main weaknesses. They failed to develop during the mid-game, leading T1 into the significant golden level advantage. The game ended in the 31st minute with T1 as absolute winner. The second game started similarly to the first one, with a passive and defensive early game. This time Virtus Pro focused on a rapid farm and growth, so that the mid-game could give them an advantage. And so happened. This time Virtus Pro showed outstanding teamfight skills, completely outplaying T1. There were some actions and signs of strength from T1, but they lost in the 39th minute. The third game started more aggressively from the Virtus Pro's side. They secured the control over a laning phase, getting the essential lead for the rest of the duel. Virtus utilized this early game to ensure domination in early teamfights and the entire mid-game. T1 had a few signs of life and few tricks down their sleeves, yet they didn't seem to work. The cheeky tactic was not enough to beat Virtus' overpowered players. T1 lost this one in the 33rd minute. The fourth game showed some severe advantages for Virtus Pro and their well-trained early game. They were outperforming T1 due to a better early game matchup. However, that didn't last long. Unlike the previous game, Virtus Pro got a cold shower in the mid-game from T1, where they were impressively outplayed in the teamfights. T1's Cuckoo played a lead role here with X, as his Berserker's calls were perfectly timed each time. Despite the early game advantage, Virtus Pro lost this one in the 43rd minute. In the fifth game we started seeing some patterns, as Virtus Pro started strong this one as well. However, T1 didn't let them gain a significant advantage, and thanks to the exceptional map maneuvers they managed to even their powers. Cuckoo once more showed amazing skills, this time with Broodmother. Although he's not a Broodmother expert, his play was indeed on the next level within this game. And in the end, teamfights brought us champions, as T1 was certainly dominating in the head-to-head clashes. Virtus Pro lost one more, letting T1 get the gold medal of the ESL One Summer 2021. Thanks for watching, and if you want to get all the best esports betting places and bet on the esports with best odds, click the link in the description of this video.